Thomas from Curvo. So managing your emotions is tough when you actually invest. Buying a stock and seeing its price drop is super frustrating. Or you've sold a stock but it continues rising for months thereafter. So investing at fixed intervals, irrespective of what prices are, is a strategy called dollar cost averaging. It's an escape from that emotional roller coaster. Unfortunately, dollar cost averaging is particularly difficult to accomplish in Belgium due to the high broker fees and taxes. So we experienced it firsthand when we actually started investing. And in this video, we've split it up into three parts. The first part will actually first explain why dollar cost averaging is most likely a good strategy for your own investments. In the second part, we're going to get really into it. We'll use an example to calculate the cost of dollar cost averaging with different brokers in Belgium. And then thirdly, finally, we'll show you how Curvo actually solves the difficulties of investing monthly for Belgians. So dollar cost averaging, also known as DCA, or Euro cost averaging in Europe, it's actually an investment strategy where you invest periodically rather than save up a large lump sum that you invest in one go. So you invest at fixed times, for instance, every month, regardless of what the markets are doing. So here are some reasons why you should actually DCA. You likely earn a monthly income. So most people get paid on a monthly basis. This means that your finances progress at a monthly rhythm. So investing at the same frequency makes a lot of sense because it simplifies saving and also just budgeting. The second reason is you don't miss out on returns when you DCA. So there's a famous quote that says, the best time to invest was actually yesterday. The second best time is today. And so the financial markets have periods of high growth as well as crashes, but the overall trend is usually up. So in most cases, you're actually better off investing as early as possible rather than saving up and investing a larger amount in one go, because you miss out on all of those potential returns while you're waiting to invest your money. So by investing part of your monthly salary as soon as you receive it, you force yourself to invest as early as you can. And there's no temptation to time the market. So timing the market is incredibly difficult. The global economy is very complex and the financial markets are impacted by loads of factors that are completely out of our hands and control. For instance, no one could predict the exact timing of the COVID pandemic. So when timing the markets, the odds are usually stacked up against you. You may get lucky, but in most cases, you're actually going to be worse off. By diligently investing every month, no matter what the markets are doing, you kind of remove that temptation to time the markets entirely. And one big thing with DCA is that it's best suited for long-term investing. So consistent monthly investments are still the best way to save for the long term. As your career progresses, you're likely going to increase your monthly income. And through DCA, you can actually easily increase your monthly contribution to adapt to your new financial situation. One last thing with DCA is that it avoids regret. Timing the market can be exciting, but it's also stressful. You don't know whether you're buying or selling at the right time. You'll probably make a wrong decision at some point, which is often going to lead to regret. And so DCA kind of removes all those negative emotions from the process of investing, and it really does bring peace of mind because you're not thinking about that stock price. So you can actually do dollar cost averaging through a broker in Belgium where you buy the shares of the funds in your portfolio every single month. There are quite a few drawbacks to this way of investing though. First one, it's really costly for small investment amounts. So there are two costs associated with DCA for a broker. The first one is a broker fee. So the broker charges a fee for every investment that you make. And the second one is the transaction tax. So the Belgian state imposes a tax on every transaction called the beurstax or taxe boursière or TOB. Depending on how the broker interprets the law, the tax actually varies from 0.12% to 1.32% of the transaction. So we actually calculated the fees and taxes when you're doing dollar cost averaging for several brokers in Belgium. As an example, we're investing €200 every single month into VWCE, a popular fund for Belgian passive investors. You can actually run the simulations yourself in the spreadsheet that I've linked below in the show notes. So as you can see in the results, there are wide differences in the cost of a DCA strategy in Belgium. DeGiro is by far the cheapest broker for VWC, with a total cost of just €2.82. The second cheapest broker in our comparison is Lynx, which is over 28 times more expensive at €80. For the other brokers, as you can see from the table, Bolero, MeDirect and KeyTrade, you will spend at least €208, or 8.7% of your total contributions. There are a couple more drawbacks with going through a broker though. One, there's always cash that's left that's actually not invested. So no broker in Belgium supports fractional shares, which means you have to buy whole units of shares. So for a fund like VWC in our example, whose shares trade around €100 at the time of filming this, you'll be left with actually a significant amount of cash when investing monthly. This is money that is not invested, and therefore it actually isn't working for you. The second issue is that it's a tedious manual task every month. So when you first start investing, it's fun to calculate the shares. It's quite fun to make those investments every month. But after a few times, it becomes pretty dull and certainly quite annoying. It's something you have to do though when you're investing monthly through a broker. These kind of drawbacks show that dollar cost averaging through a broker in Belgium is quite difficult. As a Curvo founder, I actually experienced this myself when I was managing my own investments through one of those brokers listed. And that's why we actually built Curvo to fix dollar cost averaging for Belgian passive investors. So instead of a fee per transaction, Curvo charges a 1% yearly all-in fee on your total investments. This means that you are not penalized for investing more frequently through monthly contributions. Also, the funds in Curvo's portfolios are not liable for the TOB tax. You are saving between 0.12 and 1.32% for every purchase and sale. So in the spreadsheet, we actually ran the simulation for Curvo Growth, which is one of our portfolios, which is very close to VWCE. Over the course of the year, your Curvo fee is going to amount to €9.42. This means that only DeGiro is cheaper. Other brokers such as Bolero or KeyTrade are actually many times more expensive. And so I just want to talk about a couple more advantages to know if you go with Curvo. So one, all your money is invested. So investments with Curvo are done with fractional shares. No matter the price of the shares and the amount that you actually wish to invest, all of your savings are invested and they're put to work. There is no cash left sitting on an account. It's all being invested. Secondly, the savings, you can really put them on autopilot from €50 per month. So through Curvo's app, you set up a direct debit, domiciliation or domiciliation in French. And so your savings are actually put on autopilot and they're invested for you every single month. Through the app, you can actually change the amount at any time, and you can even stop or cancel the automatic debits. You can just sit back and you can see your savings actually work for you, and you can actually spend your time on other things that are actually important to you in your life. So to conclude, for most people, dollar cost averaging is actually a great investment strategy. It really forces you to contribute a set amount of money every single month while ignoring the price of each individual purchase. By sticking to the strategy, you actually eliminate the risk that you will make counterproductive decisions based on your emotions. And if you get paid monthly, it makes so much more sense. But, as we've shown, dollar cost averaging is actually difficult when you're going through a broker due to the high fees and also the Belgian transaction tax. So our simulation of investing the €200 every month showed that it is particularly expensive when you're using any broker but DeGiro. And manually calculating and making your investments every month becomes a pretty tedious task over time. And that's really why we built Curvo, to improve the dollar cost averaging strategy for Belgian passive investors. By putting your savings on autopilot through automated monthly contributions, you pretty much set up yourself for success. All right, that was the video. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. And also don't hesitate to leave a comment with how you dollar cost average in Belgium. All right, see you next time.